and gentlemen, my name is Acting Relic, and welcome back to Skyrim. It's been a while, but this will be a little different, because this is not my 360 copy of my Skyrim. This is my PC copy with a whole bunch of mods installed. This is not going to be a proper playthrough. This is simply going to be a mod showcase of a few things, as well as an opportunity to play certain mod storylines, because there are quite a few that get added to the game through patches, or not patches, but mods and whatnot. So anyways, now in our small little home here in Whiterun, so we have a decent amount to talk about that I could showcase in terms of mods, but I think we'll do that as we come to them. I'm still waiting for... my follower hasn't showed up. Maybe if I leave and come back, she'll show up. But what I want to focus on today is showcasing a couple particular mods that are quest mods designed and themed around soul stuff. Gosh, I do not know where she could have gone. Jeez. Interesting. Anyhow. Well, anyways, let's jump into it, because the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna go pop over here and go grab us a very particular sword mod that I have installed. There you are, jeez.
I'm right behind you.
So as you can see, Lydia has a bit more, she has a different facial texture and hair model to her kit. She's
Let's
also wearing the, this particular set of armor. What the heck is it called? It is called King Crusader. It's a rather popular armor set in and amongst the modding community sets, but
Still
actually,
here.
for the time being,
I'll head back home if you need me.
she's gonna head off, because we're gonna take this thing on our own. Also, if it looks like my game is moving a lot faster visually, like my character is moving at a higher speed, that is because I have a mod installed that gives you an enchantment that you can put on your boots to make you go faster. So the reason we came over to Glenmora is that I have a mod installed, jump up here, that adds the Moonlight Blade. However, it doesn't just add one Moonlight Blade. It adds every single Moonlight Blade that has ever existed. So that's the one from original Dark Souls 1. What's in this chest? Oh, just some stuff, I'll take that. Original Dark Souls 1. Oh, go away. I told you to get out of my face. As I was saying, this adds the Moonlight Greatsword from each Souls game. So we have, I can't remember which one's which, to be honest. I think that's the one from 2. That's the one from... That's 2s. That's 1s. This might be either demons or honestly, like, Kingslaves. And then finally, the 2 from Bloodborne as well. So, really nice little mod that adds a whole bunch of really unique looking weapons that are really cool. I think from here what we'll do is we'll pop back to our home, store those, and then begin our quest. So, our first quest begins up here. Now, there are 3 quests that I want to focus on. We won't get them all done in this video, because they are quite long. So we're just going to see if we can get through this first one here. There's sort of a couple different ways I think of playing these. You could play them in release order, you could play them in a sort of progression order. It's a bit back and forth as to what you want to do. So the first one we're going to start is a quest called Unslaad. At least I believe that's how it's pronounced. Do I have my book nearby? I don't think I do. Now, the reason I was looking for my book, and when I mean my book, I mean a Skyrim book that I have for guides. Onslaught is a phrase that Alduin says at the very end of your battle with him up in Sovngarde. He says it as he's dying. So I'm guessing it has something to do with defeat or passing on. But we're going to approach this little item here, and then I'll let the game do the talking.
Then be quick about it. The girl didn't hesitate like you. You'll be fine. It's a good wind. It will surely let you fly like she did. You know, that girl. What was her name? Dragon names are so hard to remember. Are you drunk? I've been here longer than you and there was never any doll. Like I said, a good wind is blowing. Don't worry and leave the rest to Kain.
Swift hunting.
So, welcome to Onslaught.
As I said, the wind is good today. You're the second person to come here. Consider it an honor. A terrible flirt. Just terrible. The name was... I'm not sure what he said, actually. Just that he came from Alcair. Doesn't really matter. Let's focus on getting you to the castle so you can speak with that girl. It's safe here, which is another word for boring. Wouldn't you rather do something more interesting? Don't worry. Dragon or not, the girl won't eat you. Probably. As long as you don't provoke her. Half-dragon. Still counts. She's not so different from you where it counts, so you needn't worry.
So, couple things to see here. One, yes, this the design of this location and the way that this mod works is quite similar and reminiscent of the painted world of Ariamos. 2, the dialogue seems a little weird and kind of clunky. I think that's for 2 reasons. 1, this is made by a Japanese developer, so all the text and voice logs have been translated and often fan translated, especially Unslaad's fan translation is interesting, where only the first chapter of the story is translated through voice. The rest is only translated through text. 2, I think it is supposed to be a little odd and unsettling. There is supposed to be this weird semblance of you're not so sure exactly what's going on. And sometimes the pathing doesn't work properly. Oh, hush, dog. So we can see that our main statue here bears a striking resemblance to the elite knight armor and holds the coiled sword with Alduin on his shoulder. There you go.
Oh, are you a friend of Irita's? Pleased to meet you as well. My name is Irisa. I do hope Aisha wasn't rude to you. She does seem to like you. She can be very, very vicious when she doesn't like someone. I tell her to be kinder, but she never seems to listen to me. Oh, yes, I've been rambling, haven't I? Pardon me. It's strange, but somehow I feel as though this isn't the first time I've met you. Well, please take this as a memento. You're probably so cold here after all.
So, Ring of Bifrost. That gives us resistance to frost. Frost spells deal more damage, but at a decreased fire resistance. So, this is not only a Souls mod in theme and circumstance, it's also a Souls mod in theme of items and the things that you will inherit as we go through it. And you'll see more of what I'm saying as we continue.
I sense the soul of a dragon about you. Would you like me to turn that soul into power? Excellent. Please tell me when you're ready, then.
So, much like a firekeeper of sorts,
It's a fine day with you around.
Irisa here can change your dragon souls into increased powers, often perk points.
I've never met him in person. My mother said that armored statue in Central area depicts him. He was a very passionate man. He called himself Khajiit when he first came here, but he seemed to have a new name each time he appeared thereafter. I think he stopped coming after Aisha clawed him especially badly. They never got along. I don't know much about them either. My mother said they're spirits of those who perished in the snow. Aisha came here when I was a child. She was much smaller and more docile back then. Now she's only that way when no one else is watching. Once, when I was a child, I wanted to find my father, so I tried going outside. But, that's not a pleasant memory. Men and Mer have long fought with dragons. Aisha was playing around, and I guess he got so big that he came to life. He can be a little arrogant, but don't hold it against him. My mother's very ill. She's frozen the inner parts of the castle and won't see anyone. I don't think she ever really wanted to see me. With my horns and tail, after all.
So, also, Irisa is a reference to... Gosh, what is her name from Dark One? She's the ending...
Yes, Khajiit is Khajiit, although Khajiit does not remember much else. Khajiit does not remember a name, but must have been a handsome and clever thief, or a mighty warrior, or perhaps a great wizard. Khajiit remembers glorious battles against Argonia, unless perhaps Khajiit only reads about them in books. Khajiit sells things because Khajiit likes shiny coins best when they are Khajiits. Khajiit idly wonders whether there is anyone who sells things for another reason. Khajiit has not heard any other dragon crying, but Khajiit has not heard Irisa crying since you arrived. For this, Khajiit is grateful. However, business is business, and Khajiit offers no discounts. What a troublesome cat. Khajiit became like this because of that cat's thoughtless play. Khajiit might have a key. This key might be sold for 1,000 septums. If this were true, Aisha would not hear of it because Khajiit does not like what would happen to Khajiit. Khajiit appreciates your wise and prudent decision to give many, many shiny coins to Khajiit. Oh, and here is the key. Khajiit hears of an ice monster there. Once a servant, now a twisted monstrosity. Khajiit stays clear of them.
Alright.
May you walk on warm sand.
So, let's begin our adventure. Now, the reason that we'll be playing in semi-third person is that our weapon here acts like a normal sword when in first person, but when in third, it works like a proper rapier. Interesting quirk of the animated armors mod. So yeah, our boys here do not mess around. They are not to be trifled with, but such should be suspect from any sort of Souls type mod, I should say. Played Skyrim enough, you'll actually recognize some of the movement patterns of our boys here. The Frost Astronachs are their usual selves, but the Frost Lords are sort of hybrids of Frost Astronachs and Centurions from the Dwarven cities. The lurkers, I believe, are troll monsters. Really powerful attacks. I'll use this. And then the knights, I don't even know what they are. So, yes, you can already see that we're getting specialized weapons and equipment. Not really the one I'm after, but there are some in here that are quite something. And much like any good Souls game, we have shortcuts. So if you wanted to shortcut your way back in and save and then come back, that will allow you to do it. My difficulty a little bit here. Try expert. My weapons just may be too strong. Because with this kind of playthrough, I just want to show stuff off. I don't want to terribly put myself through the ringer of challenge if need be. Around. What's in this one? Ooh, yes. Another weapon in the custom arsenal that I have installed. But now we get into the real depths.
She chooses to be, I see nothing but darkness choking her future. I could never love her as she was. Every time I looked at her, I grew more agonizingly aware of the mistake I had made. Nami, tell me. I want to hear you say it just once. Yes, thank you, Lord. Estella has finally received.
So, she's a proper fucking boss. And yes, she bears the scythe. She has her own custom costume that you can get. More importantly, you can get the Favor and Protection ring and the Four Frost blade. scythe with the ability to send out a projectile of ice. It's pretty cool. So, we have a couple options here. We can tear the tail off, we can burn the doll, we can take the doll, or we can do nothing. I'm going to take the doll. It is the same doll that brought us into this world, which even then is a reference to the fact that you need the doll to travel to the painted world of Emeriamos in. Is it both? No, you don't need it for 3's painted world.